All right, I'm going to show you how to calculate the standard deviation using the example given to you in the Properties of Water investigation. For part of the standard deviation station, I asked you to calculate the standard deviation of worms and gave you 6 worm measurements. The reason why I ask you to calculate this, even though there are many standard deviation calculators on the internet, is that the AP test can ask you to actually calculate standard deviation. So I want to make sure you're familiar with that equation. The equation is pictured below, and that gives you exactly what will be on the AP formula sheet. It tells you in order to calculate the standard deviation, you need the sum of all of the sample numbers minus the sample average squared divided by the number of samples minus 1, and then take the square root. This seems super complicated, but it's actually a lot simpler if you break it down into pieces. So I'm going to start by just solving the top of this fraction here by taking x sub I, which is my individual number, minus the average. I've already gone ahead and calculated the average of our 4 numbers to be 84. So I simply take 96 minus 84 and find that that is a difference of 12. I'm going to continue that pattern through the rest of the numbers here, saying that I need to take the sample number x sub I minus the average. So you could have generated a formula. The other thing here is you want to make sure it doesn't matter that these are negatives because we're then going to square them. So the next step here is to take your values, the x sub I minus x with the line above it, and square them. So I've already set up this column to do the square. So I'm going to follow that all the way down. Then you wanted to sum that column. So we're finding this part here. So I've calculated that in this box. I found the sum of all of these numbers. That's 376. So that is my top value. To find the bottom, I take n, which is the sample size, minus 1. I had 6 numbers in the sample, so my sample size is 6, minus 1 is 5. So here I'm going to do the inside of this. So I'm going to take 376 divided by 5 gives me 75.2. And now I need to find the square root of that to get my final standard deviation. To do that, I'm going to use a function, square root of this number. You can do this on a calculator or Desmos or Google Sheets or whatever makes you happy. Just know that whatever you use will be what you have available on the AP test. So you might want to practice with paper and pencil. The standard deviation in this case is 8.6.